Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Team Fortress TV. We've got absolutely no time to waste because we're going to be getting started with our week. Blimey, what week are we on? Week 5 of our ETF2L Season 39. And to greet us into our tail end of the season, it's going to be our, not cast of the season, our MVP of the season, the pocket of the season, the winner of the previous season. It's Josh, captain of Nerd Rage. How are we doing, Josh?
I'm good, man, but I don't know about Dum Tum, but I'm coming for his title now. I'm moving on to bigger and better things.
I was going to say, I was like, yeah, all those awards are real great, mate, but can they beat 3 third places in cast of the season? I think not. I think not.
I think it can. Make it sound like it's a challenge that I'm not going to take.
Please don't take this away from me already. All right, Josh. We're into a game of 4Toast versus Ora Elektro. Believe it or not, this is first seed versus second seed. If you went on over to the ETF2L tables, it's looking like quite a shit show where everybody's just taking golden caps after golden losses. And 4Toast are the only one really kind of sailing away in this season. So does that mean that this is easy peasy for 4Toast, or should they have a tough time with Ora tonight?
No, this was to be expected because 4Toast are always going to sort of adapt to every team because they've just got that much more experience on their lineup. And considering the fact they've got Slemnish as well tonight, which is possibly the best merc they could have ever got, it's I don't know. It's almost gifted how easy this game could be if Slem just goes crazy. But they do have Yeehaw and Aura, so there is potential.
Alright, so we're going over to our first mid, and Wiethoofd is going to be coming for us as well. So already Lucas is pressuring that medic, but not worth a demo man kill right at the start there. Eames as his boys always have a choke on this sort of starting mid, and they've got the position to boot. They've backed off poor 4Toast in a corner here, and they're all hanging out in cafes, sipping at lattes and taking pipes at the meantime as well. They are capping slowly on over on Ora Elektro. They try and punish that poor scout that tries to 1v5 everybody, and I think 4Toast will have to just give in.
There was way too much missed. I want to say just like a synergy on that mid from 4Toast. Thomas tried to do some wannabe fast rollout and it did not work in his favour at all, and then he got chased into choke by Rons. It just that gifted him a free kill. Lucas got caught out by Yeehaw because he was overextending, but then they could have salvaged that if Domo just instantly backed away. 2 people dying, that's your cue to hold S. For some reason, Domo's standing in the middle of the cafe. Rons just bombs into him and gets the easiest rocket of his life onto the medic. This could have been an easily salvageable situation, but I don't know about that.
Ooh, they've taken out Lucas already. That's the final line of defense for them for this last point. They're already getting capture point on that, and it's already been capped off before we can finish our sentence. They did have a back cap, but 1 round, easy peasy for Eames and the boys.
I'm not sure why you would go for a back cap in that situation. You're never going to work that. The last point on this is so small that when you're going in with your Uberad, you can rush over the point so quickly. It's not as if you're Granary or Snakewater where you got so much ground to cover that a back cap can work. I don't know. That shouldn't have been the play there. And Lucas is getting caught out twice already. Twice in 3 minutes, already costing him around. He needs to. Could just be warm up. Just needs to wake up a bit.
Alright, shaking off the rust, going to another mid already. They take out the pick onto Chris, who's trying to get some early pressure on. And Rons, it kind of fluffs his jump a little bit, and he's kind of scaling back. I don't know what the plan is for Ora Elektro here. They're just kind of waiting to be aggressed on by 4Toast, and there's that aggression we were talking about. They will crawl all over them, gain the midpoint. They come back in for a second turnabout here over on Ora Elektro, trying to just chariot this in with the soldier and the scout. They're making an adamant effort to say how little resources they have going into this call. They've popped Uber on Domo and company. Lucas is begged to come back into mid. He will
Domo
get killed off, though.
Just chase. This is to be a big chase. Why is no one chasing? I don't know why they...
Yeah, Rons is chasing him though. Domo's been launched up. He manages to surf away on top of the wooden lip and manages to live.
I don't agree with that play. They could have left the cap time to the spawners. Nevo and Chum could have been chasing there, because Domo, if they play this right, they can get this Uber for last. They've done enough delay. They're going to get all... It's just the fact that they could have delayed all the buffs on last. It could have been a little bit quicker, but...
Well, they've got a full Uber charge now. This is looking very familiar from round 1, so will it just be just as easy though? They surely have learned the mistakes over on 4Toast. Not going to get any back capture on against Kraid, who's rocking that sniper now. Tries to get an early snipe, but they pop in so early. Very nice from Trum to stop that, and that's a pause. I mean, We could probably take some educated
Potential-
guesses what that means, but I won't
potential
spoil it.
attack. Now this push is, from what I can see on this push right now, this is working this is a good setup for the push. If Rons shoots one rocket onto the point, that's going to give Nevo all the cap time in the world, because there's no one really in a position to block right now. Pappy's in the middle of a rocket jump. Tomas is not really in a position to bomb, and the rest of 4Toast are actually in the spawn door. This is a potentially really good crunch push right now, as long as it sort of just goes how they want. As long as Rons gets his rocket on the point, it should be alright.
Hold the phone. Are they building a sentry gun whilst all this is going on? I'm assuming Slemnish has gone back to spawn and he's going to switch off here, but I don't know. I feel like he would have, as soon as you get a pinky in that spawn door, you usually see scouts switch off to their main class immediately, just start getting into action there, but that sentry gun is trying to be built.
The gun doesn't even cover point here as well, so if Nevo can just get onto the point in the right corner, the gun can't block him. The only sort of saving grace will be Pappy right now, because he's the only one in a position that's ready to fight. Credu's not even in any position yet to come out as Fat Boy and actually contest a point either. Unless he's coming out with 300s. He's actually used the Gru to try and get out a little bit quicker. So as long as if the focus fire is there from Eames, if Eames just dictates his push and gets some really good focus calls, when Yeehaw and Chris come in on this flank here, it should be Crunch City, because no one's even contesting the flank either. Normally you would expect the Roma to be hard contesting this flank. Doesn't he have to push them? Just needs to do 100 damage and they can't come in. But it's free entry on all the doors right now.
Do you think Tomas could do something? He's hiding back in the wings there. Maybe.
I don't think Tomas is in a position to do anything here, but they're going now.
Okay, well, let's see if we were correct on estimations. Tomas tries to go behind, and they just kind of rotate things round over on Ora Elektro, never really taking out anybody. The Fat Man did manage to get out despite taking the Gru, and Pappy and Tomas, between the both of them, get a mighty team wipe. And, I say a team wipe. I thought Yeehaw would have lost out against Slemnish there, but actually gets the piercing skirmish kill against him. Yeehaw, caught behind enemy lines, not really sure what to do. Can't really go for the back cap, can't go for the flank as well, so he's just going to stay in no man's lands, keep them paranoid here over on 4Toast and waste some time.
Thomas had an amazing flank there on the last. He took him. Yeehaw finally dies. They had the positioning was really good, but there was just no focus fire. There was no one praying the points when they were all back in spawn. It just didn't transpire how it should have. Lucas, this is going for an Elecor Ruba. He's not got any kills from it though, so. And there should be a massive advert from now. If they get healed up very quickly, this can be a very fast retake. Before the cap time, yeah, this is perfect. Shrui Cafe straight in.
Well, they've popped off early now, but they haven't managed to get out in time to block the midpoint. So if they just retreat here over on 4Toast, they could. Oh, Lucas goes down to his own stickies, and this is where the pause has happened in the game. So I imagine even with all that momentum that was going on, things will slow down just a tad here while they try and get all their players loaded back in. Yeah, Lucas is back to the world of the living. He did die in that previous fight anyway, so it's not really too game impactful. And they lose Rons to an aggressive Tomas, and over that extension to punish Tomas, I think Pappy.
Very mistimed play from both Red Soldiers there. Both of them went in at different times, but there was no clear direction of what they wanted to do. Doma was completely uncontested. Lucas wasn't even on the point by that time. They just sort of both walked in the doors and fed and gifted it away when they could have slowed it down.
Oh, Pappy setting up some spam already on top of Trum to maybe get some plays going. I see an aggressive Pappy trying to launch him, but his scouts are on the case. No aggression coming out of these blue soldiers. They did have a tiny bit of an advantage and a player advantage to boot, Josh, but it kind of didn't really get much done there.
Another pause. I don't agree with that play, because Pappy's bomb was alright there, but Rons dived into the choke, into Slemnish, into Credu, and into Lucas, and didn't even take more than 50 rock points of damage. It was as if he just pulled out the Harry Potter invisibility cloak. That was just not. He just didn't exist, and he managed to dish out about 500 damage. Yep, it's ridiculous that a soldier I mean, granted, Ron's is very good, but that's no excuse for 2 scouts of this level to let him get away with something like that. When I watched Credu leave the choke, he didn't even shoot at him. He just looked at him and ran away. So I don't know what I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just a bit of lag in the mouse inputs. I'm not sure.
The wizard doesn't choose the bomb, Josh. The bomb chooses the wizard, and I guess like he's a very, very lucky wizard, I suppose. But so
This setup looks good right now. Chris has a very good flank, but there's no one in position. The only one that can support him is Eames right now. Thomas has a really good pause to completely crush Rons. Nothing's really going to happen here. Ora don't really need to do anything here. This point is actually incredibly hard to break. If Ora just wanted to chill here, this would be fine to do as well. It's really bad if they get baited into this trade. They just need to bail. Ika got in on the flank though and managed to 1v1 with Credu.
Well, now he's not even on the flank, he's on top of their heads, just kind of breaking ankles and breaking necks. Rons is still caught behind. He manages to get way behind and gets on top of Domo, forces the Uber charge out of him, so it's kind of up to Eames what he wants to do with his Uber charge. They're going to pop Nevo at this choke area, and they really want to just salvage this Uber charge, but their hand might be forced. Eames does get a nice pipe though onto Thomas, still trying to bomb into them, get that Uber out of them. They're exchanging a lot of ground here to keep this Uber charge salvaged and get their players back from the respawn queue. They've come back now, nice and respawn. Trum has been forced. That's Pappy, I believe, jumping on top of Trum there, forcing out that Uber. He will go down for his sins, and they're trying to chase here. Eames is just too clumsy, can't really get the stickies to find the aggressive sort of Uber he wants, and they're just going into a full skirmish now. Everyone's entered the blender. It's all DM from this point on, Josh, and 5 HP Warrior on Yeehaw takes a crossbow. Back to fighting live. Credu will not get such a luxury, however. Goes down to Nevo, and they've got that midpoint recaptured. They're going to stop these forward respawns from 4Toast, and Ora Elektro and the boys, they've got their game back under control.
There's so much like disconnection going on right now between 4Toast. Like there was 5 versus 6, so it's a really good fight to take when you're like holding this midpoint, because you can lock the chokes out so quickly. But Thomas wasn't buffed, and Lucas was sort of left out to dry. Lucas was playing at the front of the point, and Domo just started holding S. Lucas got picked off instantly by 2 scouts, and then Chris got a free bomb onto Domo. Domo, in theory, should have actually died in this mid if, I don't know, Chris just sort of bluffed his rockets a little bit. It happens. But I think the biggest problem that 4Toast are having tonight right now is that Demo Man is lagging way too much. We've only been 10 minutes in, he's timed out twice. Watch him now, he's just consistently warping everywhere. You know, you can't play Sunshine without a demo. Like, it's not like Gullywash where your soldiers can literally run the map for you and your demo can just sort of show up. You know, this map relies way too much on the demo man to have the flow that you need. Well, especially with the choke points. With that many chokes, your demo needs to be the one that's ready to crush all these chokes, and he's just not able to support his team as much right now.
Well, it looks like the zip bomb is working for Ora Elektro, just sending Lucas's computer under Fritz here, but they've got 21 minutes to claw back at least 1 round during this entire thing, and I don't think Ora Elektro are going to feel too comfortable right now. I mean, there's been plenty of points where 4Toast in the season have been down a few rounds and managed to get a few rounds back up by the end of the game, so let's see if this computer can fix itself, or if 4Toast overall can fix themselves.
Ron's has got him behind right now. He did a funky bomb, but he's not really done anything with it. Pappy's just going to run at him with 300, so there's no way he wins that.
I mean, he did have the surprise factor. He did have the jump on him, so nice clean rockets as well. Thomas getting some nice clean rockets to kind of boot as well.
Drum's got disconnected from his team, and he's got forced. They tried to make a bust happen with the runs, like distraction, but Drum just sort of got stuck at the choke points. 4Toast played that really well. Just isolate Drum and focus the rest.
Now they're down 2 players as well, so they can't really have an easy time to get this force out onto 4Toast. They get a nice pipe onto Thomas, but he's still going to be alive.
Well, Domo that was ridiculous. I don't know if you saw that arrow, but that's the saving grace for this push now. Like they can continue running with this big Uber.
Oh,
And
nice force out of Rons though. Rons will get the force on top of Domo over on the flank, and they've got nobody to really attack into. So only a second point they'll claim with this Uber charge, but they should be happy with that.
no, they can still keep going here. There's 2 picks. This would be like really. This is there they go. This is the prime time for them to keep going. Thomas has pain train as well, so he's going to get a lot of cap time when he just keeps edging the point. Rons is getting Chris is getting isolated. There's no defensive off classes here to help. There's no Fat Boy. There's no Pyro.
Lucas is alone a little bit on this flank, trying to just rain in some sticky bombs, but he's disconnected from his medic, so he doesn't really want to commit in too hard. He will rotate round now and rejoin with his medic, but
Chum still has a big Uber ad. Chum has the big Uber ad. They just need to go forward. Too much disconnection. Credo almost capped it behind the Uber as well. And they could have played that better then. They knew they had a big ad. They should have just, when they realised they had that ad, they should have just been running over the points, not sort of waiting to pop and then go over. It should have been rushing forward with the Uber.
Yeah, I think they were just paranoid. Credo kind of giving them a ring around the roses on that point there, trying to make sure that scout was under control before he capped off that point, but it was the ill demise of that Uber charge. They've got an Uber charge over on Domo now. They're going to pop it very early, avoiding any snipers, taking out the sentry gun really quickly, and they already got that scout on point. Sticky's haven't detted already though, however. Pappy even cleans up Eames. That Sticky's denied for this last point. It's a skirmishing fight. They've only got the Fat Man really to help deal with this, but he's getting edged out by Thomas. Thomas will take out the Fat Man in exchange for his life, and when the dust settles, they've only got Lucas and Slemnish left.
Pretty good last push, like initially, but Rons and Chris had like an amazing bomb together there. They did like about 500 damage on all the people that grouped up lower, and that was the salvation that they needed for that last hold. But this push out is very disconnected. Half of his team, his whole team is still in lobby while Rons is trying to push the flank. That's not how you push out onto Sunshine second. So the best, I don't know.
You're debating whether or not to show those strats there, Josh.
I mean, it's 80% Uber ad, and they're just rushing it when they could just take it for free. You don't have to worry about mids. All you have to do is just isolate the flank and get your combo onto the point. Like, this is why like pushing out through dungeon onto the second point is so underrated, because you can clear the stickies off the shutter door, and then you can get out for free because you can just run up the stairs. You get a soldier up through dungeon with 300 HP, no one's going to stop him, and even if you get forced, you get 2 kills because you got so much space so quickly.
Yeah, but we are in official mode here. Some players, they like to feel that hero mode coming along. When Rons is feeling good, he feels like he's got more feel-good times ahead of him. Starts jumping in forward, getting, just trying to make those big plays, even when it's not really called upon. The sentry gun's actually denying Credo on getting top at this point, as well as Rons.
It's a pretty nice
just
rocket.
Jumps on top of Credo and then finishes his life. Thomas overextends as well, and yeah, they've got 2 players down for 4Toast. This is definitely the time to push for Ora Elektro.
No, it's actually, this is the thing, this last point, if you're actually pushing it and you can just do double sacks, it's not that bad. The spawn times are so low, you should actually probably be double sacking as many times as possible. You shouldn't be doing what Rons is doing and just feeding after having that really nice play. There was no need to do that. You kind of need, at least 3 picks before you even want to take the push out onto the second point on this map. The spawn times are way too low.
Oh, well, they tried to walk in on left, and Slemnish gets taken out by the sticky trap. They did weasel in 1 soldier in, but Thomas just goes down to the sentry gun instead. I don't know what they were trying to achieve with that play. Maybe spam out the sentry gun from a different angle?
The thing is, Trum isn't even leaving last to like buff his team. Chris is just running out with 200 right now. If he was 300 here, this scout would have no chance of like ever contesting him. They've got really good space though this time, Chris and Rons, but the team's not in. The Pyro's not in. Eames is just in the shutter door. As I said, double sacking out of last is one of the worst plays that you could ever do on this last point. Your spawn times are so long. This gun's gonna just get shut down too quick because there's no one to deny the shutter door now.
Yeah, Thomas is poking on the side that the stickies are on. He will jump towards point. He's got that pain train need, I remind you, so they actually have to get all hands on deck here to make sure the point isn't immediately captured. They even pop Uber to block
They're
this
just
point.
struggling off the point.
Oh my god, yeah, they actually managed to pull it off.
Jesus Christ, man, that was fucking horrible from Ora. Like, you don't have to sacrifice your soldiers. If you're that afraid to push out, just get a pyro and a sniper and just like peek the shutter door and let your sniper shoot for free.
Oh, there's.
I don't know. He's not done his homework on this map. He just really needs to realise that you cannot. If you want to send a sack, just send a soldier by himself, but don't even put your team in lobby, or just stay on last.
Chris takes the express train straight to the bell. Will actually back off and reconnect with his team, and it's 1-1. It's looking dangerous. Ron's will go down first on top of that bell tower. They are exchanging roamers, so gentleman's agreement. Let's see if a good old-fashioned blob tussle can zero in on this mid. Lucas, Stank, and Eames are the eyes to look at. See if they can get that first initial damage for their team to play off. And I'm seeing some pipes, but I'm not seeing too many connects. Trums is a bit tagged. They can maybe pepper him down, but he just takes Who's up the health kit, and he's back to the world of the living. They find Pappy though. Eames will get the kill onto him, and with this numbers advantage, they should feel the confidence to start pushing in. Unless Lucas gets some mighty pipes, I can't see this working out. Rons is back, by the way. He took a while, but he's back, and he's managed to force that Uber out. Ubers are exchanging and grinding up on this midpoint. Nobody's still captured this middle point. However, 4Toast feel the heat a bit more and decide to back off a little bit, and Eames will go down. Tomas goes aggressive, takes a crossbow as well, completely turning the tide of this fight. Lucas is raining fire on top of Kredu, who's trying to take the aggression straight into the blob of Eames and company, and he will succeed.
Domo hit another clutch arrow onto Tomas then. That was a beautiful save from Domo. He actually sort of managed to salvage that fight again, because Tomas dies there. It just becomes a 5-on-5, and Lucas's bomb onto Flowers doesn't kill Trum. But Domo hitting that clutch arrow, Tomas getting the ability to survive and support Lucas again. Beautiful play. The medic, Domo had like a little bit of a rough start in the first round, some misplays position wise, but now he's like he's just warmed up. 2 minutes to warm up, now he's shining.
Oh, nice early pop. The sentry gun juggling up poor Lucas, but will take out the sentry gun now. They're trying to find these soldiers that have given them so much hassle on this last point. Chris will be taken out. Eames will even out that kill count a little bit with some stickies on point, but they're dealt with now. Nevo has come back as the fat man, and he's breathing down their necks, peppering them with fives and just making sure that they can't win out this fight easily. They have to edge the poor man, and Yeehaw just takes advantage of this positional play. They're shooting the ground here over on 4Toast, and when the dust settles, it is a 4Toast victory.
They're not adapting to the last pushes at all. Trum and I'm not sure who, I think it was Eames, they're just getting stuck in the right corner. Instead of playing the spawn door and just trying to rotate the spawn door as quick as you can, because the flank is just doing what the flank normally does, which is push the left side while your combo pushes the right, and they're just getting crushed with like synchronized aggression. They're not adapting to what 4Toast are doing on any of these last points. Rons needs to play this initial mid better as well by not feeding into 2 scouts as well. Last mid he did a really poor bomb, and 2 scouts just crushed him like way too quick.
Yeah, the Romers have been having a tough time on this Sunshine middle. Let's see if they can actually come up and... Oh, Chris already taken out quickly, but he's not the Romer, doesn't count. Eames is going to go down. That's a horrible player to die during all of this mid. I can see Ora Elektro trying to maybe just pick up what salvage they can. I hope they... Are they on their side of the map? I don't think they are. They're on the blue side.
They are stuck on the blue side, and 4Toast can just hit the W key straight to second now.
No.
Like 2 scouts and the medic behind, and no off classes. Pappy's having a little adventure.
Yeah. Pappy was hiding on the point, thinking he might backcap him.
They've got no choice but to try to take a trade right now. But it's actually a really good trade to take, because both of the blue soldiers are so weak.
He's just taking the scout taxi back to last, and they're trying to cut him off at this lower area. Oh, Lucas! Lucas at the last second forces the Uber in this lower area, so, just to get the president alive back in the secret bunker has failed.
Domo gets forced at least.
Yeah, they're trying to clean up these players that went aggressive onto them to get this Uber charge out, and they're all hanging out in lobby, every single soul, and they're just being run over here, Josh. It's just Eames left. How can this one man take on 5?
It's just a train wreck. It's just misplay after misplay. Like it all started on the mids. Like Chris needs to realise that Ascent are doing the exact same mid every time. The combo rolls out Flowers, they push onto his Tetris, and they're looking for him. They're counting players at the start of the mid. They're seeing who goes where, and they're realising, right, there's one missing. Well, this guy must be hiding in cafe. Let's go send 2 people to check, and we get a free kill instantly. And Eames needs to not get caught out on blue Tetris. I don't understand how he managed to get that disconnected when Trum ended up on the other side of the mid. They just need to play as a unit, play as a blob.
Well, the blob is being spammed right now. Pappy's just peppering them out to maybe get a good start. And oh my god, the blob isn't even surviving to basic bombs. It looks like just looks where Thomas is right on top of them, getting the kills, and everybody else is just winning their skirmish in their little private corners of the map. Only one alive is Eames and Nevo, and they've both been synchronized, killed at the same time. They do lose Domo on that mid, so not quite the round loss, but they will lose the mid.
It's the only salvation play that Chris and Ron's got a double bomb onto Domo, but Ora just aren't adapting at all. Or there's no creativity. There's no. Ascent have only had to adapt to one mid so far, and it's the same mid every time. Hang on, there's a push going on right now. Big dry fight. Pappy needs to get focused down more, so much more. He isolates himself so much, but just doesn't get picked off.
Yeah, and this does allow Tomo to get in on the flank just ever so slightly. Gets a shy little kind of spam kill onto Yeehaw on the flank, but doesn't really commit in. Doesn't play anything with the space. They're instead opting to just spam them out, see what they can fish with Lucas's stickies. And I mean, to give them credit, they're doing some nice fishing here, Josh. Some good spam has actually forced them out of this this second point.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the play was, trying to get 5 people to chase through cafe area, because Thomas just had the freest flank in the world. He just walked in with 200 HP.
Stickies, careful.
Never gets paid.
Oh, there it is. Eames gets him. Finds the trap onto Domo. That's an uber charge down, and everybody's standing on the point, making sure that nobody can get top. Lucas is farming frags. So many players on one spot makes it easy for the demo man. 4-1.
This is depressing. That's so depressing to watch.
It's
and
okay.
again, it's the mids that are just like. 4Toast have only had to adapt to a single mid, and it was like they only had one game plan. They just keep sending Chris into the cafe and doing nothing. And 4Toast, oh no, Ora haven't even thought to check. Ora don't even think let's count players. Thomas has gone his cafe the last 4 mids, and not one person has gone to check where he's gone. Ron's going too far forward, and both scouts are just beaming forward. Thomas is in behind for free again.
Yeah, he's just walking in. That's a 3 Eames kill. Pappy beats him to the punch. And yeah, with those players, that nice pipes coming out from Lucas, taking out Ron's. It just seems once they take out Eames and they just domino spell down one by one, and they're just crawling all over. Nevo is doing a good job of trying to kind of turn the tides a little bit here, but it's just a numbers game, it looks like, for 4Toast.
They actually deserve to lose by how they're playing. It's actually awful. Like, there's just there's no signs of life from anyone. No one's just thinking to themselves, what is happening? No one's thought to themselves, this Roma has come from cafe the last 3 to 4 mids. Let's send Rons with 300 HP into cafe to just go and get an easy kill. Thomas is sitting there with 200 HP. He's only saving graces if he lands on the pack. You know, and Nevo is rolling out from his flowers up to the blue cafe. He can just support him as well. It could they could just play the mid slow and get a free pick, and then move over with a 6-on-5.
I know Thomas, obviously got in for 3 there, but even on that mid, it didn't even look like he had that much impact at the start of the mid. He just kind of, Pappy just came in and did a little bit of the job of starting that kill onto Eames, and yeah, I guess the domino started falling there, and he is another domino, but yeah, it didn't even look like if they addressed him too much, he would have changed.
Thomas is behind on last. Thomas is hiding on last again. Is he on pain train again?
Ooh, well, you can see. We can only hope.
He's not been caught. He's not been caught. No one spotted him. No one spotted him. It's so free.
Yeah, they're waiting for everybody to get forward enough. He's waiting.
Five
times one. The gusto on this man. Oh, they even tried for the times 7 cap. Desperation from Ora Elektro. It's gotta hurt, Josh.
I mean, I wouldn't. Even if you're gonna lose, at least lose by trying something different. Just think to yourselves, as a main caller, just think to yourself, what's going on? What can we do differently? Just think, right, this Roma's going cafe. Let's just send 6 people onto our Tetris instead and take a massive brawl. Or let's actually, instead of Chris going in our own cafe all the time, let's go 6 people left instead. Right, now it actually looks like they're actually trying it, but they need to get 2 really good bombs over onto their own Tetris right now before that happens.
Oh my.
That's not how you play that mid at all. You can't go your own side and sit in the choke. The whole idea behind that mid is you need to be the ones aggressing super quick. If you go left side and mirror the mid, then you can play it slow. But they're going far right and they're just sitting there idle. One soldier takes the tower, one soldier's on his cafe roof. Both scouts are on the floor, and both blue soldiers just bombed over them all and landed behind them onto the mid.
You gotta sympathise with them, Josh. They're clearly a team that's like they've scrimmed their go-to mid. You know, it's their bread and butter, and they probably realise now, okay, it's the one we know the best, but it's not working. Let's change something. But they don't know how to do anything else. Their bread and butter's been taken away.
Lucas has just got 2 kills with a trap as well. I don't know what the play was there.
I think maybe we've entered Tilt Town.
I think that's just a game over mentality or next map mentality.
Well,
hopefully
it's a next map now. There's no mentality about it. We're there. We're here. It's 6-1. The Mercy Wall's been invoked. The towel has been thrown for this map, and Sunshine is looking a bit dimmer for Ora Elektro. But 4Toast, though, they're feeling pretty happy, pretty toasty.
I can respect what you say when it comes to like the sympathy point, but I'm not going to sympathize for a team that does the same thing 6 rounds in a row, and only after the 7th one does something click and think, oh, let's try something different. You want to realize that after like 2 or 3 rounds of getting rolled, that's when it needs to happen. That's when it needs to take effect.
You even had there was even some tactical pauses as well to have a quick think and a chit chat about your mids.
That wasn't tech pauses, that was just Lucas. But to be fair, that was a big change as well. After the 20-minute mark, Lucas stopped lagging, so the game did sort of twist. Lucas started having a massive impact. His DPM just went straight up, and he was just his positioning and pipes were just perfect. When they were trying to leave with 2 scouts and the med behind, he just did a little cheeky push into lobby, piped Trum once, Trum gets forced. And then there was a couple of mids where Rons was trying to chase him, and he was just piping him out of the air. He didn't need his scouts to protect him. So that was already the big difference maker, Lucas coming back into the game.
All right, let's head on over to these logs. Let's see if you're just as critical about the mathematics as you are about the gameplay, Josh. And I've got them loaded up already here. I sort the EPing by damage because I'm a one-dimensional man. But I see 3 blue players right at the top there. No surprise in a sort of mercy ruling. But the soldiers were having a great time on 4Toast, and like you said, the soldiers were having a great time over on Ora Elektro.
The first 10 minutes, the Aura soldiers were having sort of like a lot of freedom and were able to make a lot of space, and they were actually getting like really good positioning. But after that, Slemness just started adapting to everything that they were doing, and they just positioned the combo so that Slem could keep all the heals, and they just countered them straight away.
Yeah, you can see if we've got the mid-fight section, but I'm looking at the mid-fights now. The first 2 mid-fights did go for Ora Elektro. I mean, the second one was a bit weird, but it still went their way eventually. But you could just see exactly where the adaptation has begun, and yeah, a blue mid every single round past that point, and just winning like 2-minute rounds from that point on.
That second mid was when it was like a complete mirror mid, but it was like the way the mirror mid should work. But the only sort of saving grace was Rons managed to force Domo when he rolled out. If Rons doesn't Rons, if he rolls out anywhere else, he rolls out Cafe, doesn't get the force, rolls out Flowers, doesn't get the force. Him rolling out into Choke was sort of the saving grace for that round. But that was the mid that they also didn't punish, the fact that Domo had only 10% Uber left in Flowers, and Trum had a whole Uber percent. A full Uber advantage. Like they didn't chase Domo to get a free kill. There was no scout speed to run him out. They let Rons chase Domo by himself, but there was 2 spawning soldiers on the way. The Rons doesn't win that fight ever. But if you've got a beaming scout, if you got Nevo chasing Rons with the beam and a full Uber ad, you can even use the Uber again there and just get 3 picks, and then you can build your Uber ad on the way back to mid. Or you go and secure second while Yeeha's capping the mid. And by the time that happens, you're already going to be up to 50-60% Uber ad again. I think it's just maybe I should probably give Aura a bit more respect though, because I don't think that's their style of gameplay. Obviously, everything I'm talking about is my style of gameplay, but it's also just see. So maybe you are right. Maybe I should sympathise a bit more.
Well, what about that first round? That first round looked pretty golden for Ora Elektro. Or was that 4Toast just dropping the ball and just that demo was just being way too laggy?
It was just Lucas. Lucas didn't lag in the first 2 minutes. That was just, I think it was just a warm up. Like top teams, like they'll still need time to adapt, warming up. You know, it happens
Yeah.
for every top team. Froyo happens for me and Nerd Rage, Epsilon, whoever you want to think. You know, and sometimes you'll get surprised by what happens in the first like couple of minutes. You know, because they'll come out strong, but then you just think what happens, and then you adapt to it. So Lucas got caught out twice in that round, and then he didn't get caught out again because he realized what was happening. He saw what Yeehaw was doing and just thought, right, I'm just going to put a sticky up my feet and then just spam my pipes instead, and he can't touch me.
Do you think that Eames could have hit the Cadus Masterclass and just dug his heels a bit more after that first round and just played that first round kind of win condition a bit more? Or do you think it was inevitable that these rounds were going to come and they needed to just play better on the mids?
It was the mids, mate. Like, that's it. Like, if you're going on against a team of this caliber. But the thing is, these players have played together for so long. They should know, like, when this happens, they should know to adapt. And if it doesn't happen on this map, then it's definitely going to go tits up. Like, they need to make it at least a draw. Like, if they walk away with at least 1 point, then 4Toast needs to can be thinking for playoffs. All right, we need to actually be thinking more about the maps that we need to pick now against Ora. Because right now, I don't think 4Toast are concerned at all about this map. You know, they're probably going to walk onto the mids. Pappy and Thomas are going to do some really good synced bombs, and they're just going to absolutely crush Trum and Eames on the low ground.
So, Snakewater, if I had to pluck a scoreline out of you, what would you predict?
6-1 again.
6-1 again. Convincing stuff. Let's see if you are right, if you are wrong. Either way, we're tuning in to Season 39's Week 5 of Ora Elektro versus 4Toast. They've taken the first map so far, so can they clean out a nice 6 points from ETF2L? Let's find out. Lucas will get the first sort of starting damage into our mids, and waiting for the Pappy bomb. Here it is, and he's already focusing on the medic, and wow, the collapse comes so synced up from 4Toast. Everyone just dies in the snap of a finger, and yeah, only poor Nevo is the one alive here. And to think, I thought killing the medic first is a kind of mid-fight sin.
That was exactly what was going to happen. I mean, I like the idea behind it. It's the I don't know, someone patented it as like a chunky play. I don't know who that was, but that was the idea behind what they did. Ron's did a fast bomb into Blue Saw, but rolling out balcony is the instant counter to that. Thomas had a really good position as well on the hut, and he realized what was happening, so he just literally, I don't even think he jumped. I think he just walked into the combo and did 500 damage with Pappy as well. Pappy instant chases Chum, gets a free pick, and they just clean up from there.
Alright, well, they've got the full Uber advantage. They're kind of taking the time with it. They will pop in now, and they need to clean up the sentry gun first. Check. Now they need to focus down people behind this truck area. That's the only area they can stand in. Check. They almost get the kill onto Eames there, but he switches out just in time, and Pappy does go down to an aggressive scout somewhere, and it's looking a bit pear-shaped here for 4Toast, and they don't really have enough players to recommit in. They have an Uber charge bubbling away, ready for Trum any second now, so they're on the back foot now for 4Toast.
Lucas has got a new trap on balcony. I've not seen that one before. That's a pretty good trap. But Ron's has gone a bit too quick. Credo just gets an easy 1v1. There was like no sort of team behind him there. Well, unlucky Lucas. That trap's not going to get used today.
Deja vu there, Josh. Rons goes out aggressive again on these push-outs when they have Uber charge any second now. It seems to be a habit.
No one's been watching this left side. There was no soldier in drop down. They've just got cap time again. If Thomas had pain train there, that could have actually been a potential cap.
They didn't even have to use the Uber. They've managed to get out with Domo, and Lucas is still alive. Now he gets to use that trap again. Slemnish is accommodating them as well. So they're going to have a lot on the plate, especially if they want to hold this grass area, which looks like they do. Chris has got some nice spam in. They've actually, the call has been made to go backwards.
Eames is caught lower. That's all they needed. That was the only thing they needed. They can just heal up and walk this into last.
Oh, Lucas goes down though, so it's not the happiest feeling in the world. They've got the Uber charge used. They're trying to enter from lower. Credo taking the 1v1 scout fight, beats off against Yeehaw, and he's actually going to help these teammates out against Chris over on the flanks. The flank is busted. They've got a little bit of cap time, and Credo's just farming all these players one by one. He even gets the Eames kill as well. The point has been capped. Very nice play of each other on this 4Toast squad.
Grado's had a really good start to the map so far. He wasn't really doing much on Sunshine. I didn't really see him. He was quite quiet. This round, he's just made it his bitch. Like,
all right.
if they want to do this chunky play, they need to have a scout sort of waiting on the top left to try and deny this soldier that's going to bomb behind onto his medic. But they shouldn't really be running the meds that far forward straight away. They should let the soldiers do a little bit of initiation first.
Yeah, everyone's playing it cool, calm and collected. No jumpers at the start, and they're trying to just kind of counter-jump each other. And Pappy will go in now that he sees an aggressive soldier into the sky. Takes out the medic again, so no heals for Ora Elektro. They have to go aggressive onto Domo. He will be taken out, but with all that committal, it means that they've got plenty of players left to clean up the rubbish here over on Ora Elektro. And 4Toast will get this midpoint.
Pappy's bomb was fantastic, that mid. Straight from top left, into the saw behind, timed it perfectly. No one could escape, and he did about 400 damage onto the combo. The blue scouts are just sort of doing what they want, though. Like, I've never seen a mid where Credo and Slimnish were able to both run over the high ground and be that aggressive without having anybody trying to contest them. Like, by the time they did try to contest him, Pappy had already bombed into Saw with the space that the scouts had made for him. And then Thomas was just able to stand there and just do like 200 damage across the mid just with spam again. It's just a bit. I think maybe it's a sympathy card is coming out. I think it's just experience again, like overshadowing Aura, because Thomas and Pappy have played together for so long. They've got Slimnish who knows a lot of how EU teams work. You know, combine that with Lucas as well. The synergy is just there.
Thomas tries to get on top of Trum, but I don't think he was in any real danger there.
That's so dangerous. Why is he standing on the floor just in the middle in no man's land? If that's a double sack there, like the thing is, like this last point is the same as Sunshine because the spawn times are so low. Like Thomas has already respawned. You could easily do double sacks onto this last point.
Maybe trusting that sentry gun a bit too much.
It wasn't even built at that time, man. He just landed on his face. If he doesn't miss his first rocket there, Chum gets forced or he'll drop. Or if Pappy goes in and just spams, or Lucas spams that. I think it could have been a bit better played from 4Toast. I don't think they need to be as afraid when it comes to. That's
a nice little.
This is good though.
Yeah. Rons goes down though, and I mean it is the creed a little bit. A few players goes down on the enemies. It's almost like license for the Roma to go in and just try something, I guess. But I would have liked them to just go as a unit there and play with their sniper, maybe.
It just needs to slow down. That's it. Like when you get 2 picks, pushing off last needs to be slow. It needs to be methodical. It's not as if you're rolling from mids and Slemnish just Yeehaw got left alone. For some reason, his team had backed out into last while he wanted to push lobby. I don't know if that was communicated.
Pappy wants to go lower. Take out the sentry gun. It's being spammed, but it's just been healed just as quickly back up. You need 2 soldiers on that job, it looks like.
This gun is probably the...
Domo! He's been forced! The spam from lower! They've all been just hanging out, having a sip, having a picnic at lower area, just getting spammed out. And what a very, very cartoonish force there from Rons.
Honestly, this isn't even as bad as you might think. This is actually like a very valid strat on this last point. Because of how strong that sentry gun is, even like getting forced and baiting the team into a really bad push out like this is actually really good. Gredu, a little bit unlucky, he gets picked off there. Could have been a bit more synced with Thomas.
Grass has been shut down though. They're trying to get it.
Big bomb, Trum dies to the
traps. They got Trum.
Yeah.
The stickies, they actually find Trum, so with that player down, and they've taken up so much spam from these pipes as well. They could try and big boy this and try and just run over with their buff players, but they don't want to go in with that.
But yeah, that's why it's like this. No, there's going to be a free second capture. Despite the fact that they lost Uberad, that's why it actually can be a really good valid strat to just literally, you know, even if you get forced, you back out with 6, you heal up, and then you just take a fight on grass when they have to do a really, really bad Uber. The only difference that should have been made on that whole play, unless Crater was trying to go for a back cap, which I think he probably would have wanted to do. I think he probably just got shot down too early, so he got picked off a bit early. But now the Uber's coming into last. That sentry gun's not getting focused. Bit too late for that sentry gun to die, and Pappy got killed because of it.
Yeah, so they're trying to hold this water tower over on Thomas. I don't think his team is with him, however. They're all checked out and they're trying to go back to the second point. And that's always like a nice bonus when you get those roamers that don't die without bringing somebody with them. So it's going to put a damper a little bit on this push out. Nevo has to be just very brave. And oh my god, is he a brave little soldier? A little scout just manhandling Kradu, walking in. Chris even finds the kill onto Pappy. Lucas does protect himself against Chris, but it's bought enough space for his team to get on that second point now and push out 4Toast more importantly.
Man, fair credit to Nevo there, because his team was really, really slow. If 4Toast had capitalised on that, they could have instantly killed Nevo, but he did a lovely little 1v1, and that actually like secured the second point there.
Okay, they need to clear out these stickies that Lucas keeps replacing them with. It's mighty annoying. They've got Ubercharge, but so does Domo now, because they've wasted so much time over on 4Toast. So back to a stalemate we go.
They would have never have been able to take the midpoint anyway, with the spawns being way too fast. Like, that's one thing of like 4Toast. I think maybe they realise it a bit more. They should definitely be exploiting it a bit more. This point is not the same though. This point has really punishing spawn times. Like, if you lose 2 here, your mid is really, really, really game over. But like, if you're holding second, then you can always risk losing 2, and it's not a problem.
They're trying to maybe slow push this from grass area, clearing out the stickies, and but flank is a little bit on fire right now, so they go and address that. Gronz has been taken out, and it's a nice exchange with Thomas going down a bit earlier.
He needs to chill out, man. He really does. He's feeding at this point. It's become hard feeding. After they were like 3-1 down on Sunshine, every time he died after they got 2 picks on last, it's just become feeding. He's just hard feeding. It's really annoying.
You're not a believer in, enemy roamer goes down, I have the license to go in then. Oh my, nice.
No, not one bit.
Oh, I mean, did Eames just get a random pipe onto Thomas? Was that a roller? Oh.
Right, if Ron's just slows it down and goes with his team now, they can easily take this in, despite the fact that Kradu is spawning really, really soon. They've already gotten some good spam. Domo gets forced. This is perfect. Now just back out. Hold S.
Yep, and that's what they're doing. Rons has rejoined his boys. They've gone and rotated around. I think they're going grass as well. They want to make this extra rotated here on this sort of
Rons should stay though. Rons needs to stay and hold the flank, because if he gets busted by the flank, now it's game over.
We've just Ubered in. Okay, all right. So we've moved in right early. They want to get pretty aggressive and get some kills. They do find 2, but I'm not sure if that's enough unless they keep pushing
really
with it.
No, that's really good. This is perfect. You just leave the scouts.
Yeah, they keep pushing. I was just a bit worried if they stuck behind. So yeah, the push on to second. Eames has already found his way in. Got some nice starting damage for Rons and scouts to play off.
What a beautiful bomb. That was beautiful from Chris. Yeho's going to meet these 2 on the flank. Lucas dies. This is a round. This is perfect. No, that's a perfect Uber. You never need to get like you don't need to kill certain people. You just need to get 2 picks with those Uber ads, and then you could just keep rolling like that with the aggression. Fat Boy can't cover last. I don't know why Rons is so afraid.
Oh, Kradu is the last man alive for this team. They actually get a couple of respawners now, just in the nick, and Slemnish and Lucas do hold this last point, but they've got an Uber charge in their back pocket in about now, so they can just start going in. They do clean up Pappy, and who was, I guess, hoping for a force earlier rather than later. They pop off now. They're trying to get on top of that spawn door, kill what players they can get on top of. Slemnish does a good job of weaseling out and delaying that Uber charge a little bit, and they've blocked off point. Eames has got nothing reloaded. They've killing off these players and pushing them away as well. Oh, what a salvage point for Slemnish.
Mate, I don't understand. This last Uber should never have even happened. When Rons went in and got on the point, I'm not sure why they're going for this, to be honest. Domo died in this last point. It's as if, like, 4Toast don't realise they have no heals going into this fight. Well, Chum has heal advantage. They're not sure about this. Lucas needs to be careful. He can actually get caught here. 20 HP.
Oh,
Chris. Oh, that's really dangerous. I mean, fair play to. He knows he's got the skill to survive. I know he would hit those pipes, but still a bit high risk in that situation. Right, big Uber ad coming in. Surely they can't miss this one 3 times up in a row.
Yep, they've used for the shutter door. They've taken out the sentry gun. Lucas is going to rotate round. They've got the fat man on point round about now. Slemnish pumping damage into them and pressure. They can start pressuring the point themselves, and they haven't really lost a soul for pressuring those stickies off. They've got another scout on there. They've just not got enough bodies, and they play it safe. They play it cool, and they get their round.
No, that was really good. Instead of like playing the point, they just let 4Toast come out of spawn and then just isolate the targets that they needed to. Fatboy went down first, and then Lucas got baited into getting his stickies after the Fatboy died. There was really good focus fire from them all on Ora. I still don't know how they messed it up the first time round. Ron's jumped off the point when a heavy was shooting him from the lower door. The heavy was nowhere near blocking him, and Ron's at 200 HP. Could have stayed on the point and capped the round well before that, but hey ho.
All's well that ends well. Round on the board, confidence restored, Domo being pressured. It's like a new Ora Elektro. They're having a much tougher time dealing with these jumpers, but they just seem to weasel their way out of this. Their defences, it seems, for 4Toast is just do some fancy jumps, lol, and hope that things work out, and things have worked out. They're chasing still, very nice chase, forcing poor Trum into the brick wall of the red base, and Yeehaw, the only man alive, and he's not even alive for long. He will go down, and Domo is still breathing here, Josh. He's got an overcharge. It's hard. Last defense for Ora Elektro.
I want Ora to watch that mid, and I want them to realise that Domo was 2 HP after both soldiers bombed him, and no one has any focus fire on that mid. That would have been such a crushing mid if they just... Literally, if they just picked up Domo straight away. He got juggled into the air. It was a juggle that he got, like, paralysed him in mid-air. He couldn't strafe. There was nowhere for him to go. There's just like, I don't know, he put Harry Potter's cloak on and just disappeared.
Alright, well, we're Ubering in. Sentry Gun has been killed off early, but it was expected at this point. They're just playing left side, right side, and let's see who has a better scout focus fire. The scouts don't really find the soldiers just as early. There's a bit of trading card games between these two teams. Nobody really going down. I'm favouring the red team the longer this gets drawn out here.
Trum still has the Uber ad. All they need to do is buy this out for a bit, like 5 more seconds.
Oh no,
get the
Yeehaw
Uber.
goes down. Yeehaw goes down, and now they've lost a player. They're trying to get they've got nobody to block point, and it has to be put into Eames' hands, and he goes down. That's got hurt. How did Yeehaw die there? It just looked like he went forward.
Yeah, he did. Isolated himself into positioning, just played into Lucas's hand. The thing is, they didn't need to do anything. They didn't need to like move forward or anything there. They could have just held back on their side of the point while Eames had it stickied, and there was nothing they could have done. Just sort of gifted a little bit.
Well, 14 minutes left on the clock. They proved that they can do it over on Ora Elektro, so let's see if they can find that magic now. Rons does the biggest, tallest jump into the sky to draw all that attention, but nobody really to capitalise with, and there's no real damage to boot. So
they need to hold S. They just need to hold S. They've got the Domo pick. They can just hold S instead of tanking the same spam.
They can feel the aggression though. They can smell all the blue players running at them. Trum, this has turned from a FPS to a horror game, and the scouts are looking for Trum. Oh no, he manages to stay alive long enough. He's 22 HP, 3 HP down. He's been knocked down. Longer respawn queue for that man. And oh, did Pappy even get a trading kill onto Rons as well? He did.
Yeah, he did. There's two. That's the inexperience factor coming into play there. So that's. Yeah.
Oh, Lucas maybe caught out in no man's land here. Has to hold a nice pipe.
Right. If you're Ora right now, what you need to be thinking about is that they haven't cut mid, and the second thing that is going to save them in this round is that Domo had no one to heal when he spawned, because 5 people were chasing, Domo was alone. So that's where you need to be thinking, right, it's not going to be a full Uber ad, it's just going to be like 30-40, you know. And I think Trum is really good at counting Ubers. I know that from when I played with him and against him, so I think he's realised that himself. And that's why he's got his team so far forward. Eames is getting isolated again, though. They're just getting crushed with this green aggression. Like, no one's in saw here, though. Like, Chris could be exploiting this flank with Yeehaw so much more.
They're taking the free ground. Look at 4Toast. They're just like, oh, thank you, easy ground, easy flank. They have to go behind into the base as well. And, yeah, they've gone right behind. They're capping the second, but they're pushing last. They're on top of Trum. Trum is in danger mode. He's at 95. Will go down. The scouts can't take enough damage alone. Eames is getting pistoled out by the scout. Kills himself on his own pipe. The reinforcements have arrived for 4Toast, and everyone's battered and bruised. Chris might even get dunked on by this last soldier. Oh, it hurts, Josh. They were just 5%.
Lucas was dead. Both soldiers and the scout were capping the second point. Slemness just took that over by himself and killed Trum. I don't get it. They saw what was going to happen. They were. I don't know, man.
Why could they not scout taxi that Trum out? Like,
I don't know how Trum's not into spawn at that rate. Like they see that they've lost that much ground. I don't know why Trum's not getting himself into a position where he can just chill out. Why he has to be afraid of that Uber. Slimner should never get that Uber to succeed.
Alright, we're into a new mid, new me, fifth round I should say. Nevo actually gets a random Credo pick. They actually isolate Pappy in that sawmill. No sawmill shenanigans this time, and Eames is keeping out everybody else in that saw area. So they're smiling a bit on this midpoint, but are they smiling for the round here, Josh?
I mean, in the mid was really good, so they tried to...
Rons gets a nice rocket, doesn't quite get the follow-up onto Domo, and he's at 90 health now, can't really be taken out, and they're trying to stabilise back here and maybe push back in. This. Lucas could do it.
They know that there's still one person on mid right now. Right, although he uses that, Chum, well played from Chum, that's actually really well played.
That was
a good to go for if you're 4Toast. They know that what they've got to pick, and they know that there's still one on mid. They have a 6-on-4. Obviously, I don't know why a scout didn't call stickies on balcony, because Lucas still just walked straight into them. So,
well, the thing is, he got past the initial stickies as well. He just didn't know where they were, and ended up essing back into it. And they're trying to weasel onto the point, and it doesn't really work out. I mean, both teams have Uber charge. They just want to get players flowing and, just something happening on this map. No snail baits.
That's a good try, though. Like, that's the kind of play you can risk on this last point with such low spawn times. But they just need to be getting more aggression back in now, though. Where's Eames gone?
Well, he's just back. I guess they haven't Uber.
Eames was playing on grass with Nevo.
Yeah, but they Ubered in on Domo. So I guess he was just wanted to back off, preserve his Uber charge, perhaps.
I don't know why, it was only a soldier. Thomas just got him for free onto Chum.
Well,
Thomas isn't going to die either.
Pappy's in, Tomas is all the way back, and they're just banking on this Tomax pill, but they forgot about Eames' trap, and Pappy backs out of the wrong area, ends up going down, and they should have tabs on Tomas, but I think he's holding a spawn door.
If you're Ora now, you should realise that you can go straight to last with this. You got still a big Uber ads, and you 2 down and 1 behind. This is last point. This is W key before they get set up. You don't have to. If this gun doesn't get set up, it's really, really good.
Yeah, they're already in. Nevo's right on top of them, gets the kill onto Pappy. They even get the kill onto Domo as well. If they play their heels now and just play it controlled like they did before, I can see them winning this round, but it might get a bit ahead of them. Credo has got on top of Chris. The medic's taking things into his own hands, Josh. He's slapped him with the bust.
Oh, man. I mean, fair play, they took the Uber in when they needed to, but I don't see how you lose that, man.
I mean, it's just things were getting ahead of themselves just a little bit. There was just a slight overextension. It's hard keeping tabs of things during the firefight.
They got like 3 picks though, like on the front. Oh, Rons just gets picked because he's bombing it with no heals again. Rons needs to get more heals as well. Not like in these fights, but he just needs to be doing. If he wants to do plays, he needs to be getting buffed quicker because that's just a feed. There was no need to do that bomb at all. He could have just stayed alive, or he could have just played in window and spammed. Like this is more like testament to like the Creed thing that you were talking about before, where we've just noticed it, where he's just getting killed and killed and killed repetitively. And it's costing his team in the long run.
Where's that invisibility cloak when he needs it? He was rocking it the first match.
He only had it for 1 round.
Yeah, first mid. That's all you get. It now belongs to 4Toast. Man, look at Lucas. He just barrels in. They did have an opportunity to get a nice force onto them. They forced the Uber out of Trum first, and then they could have followed up, but they dropped Lucas during their own Uber charge, and without a demo man now and a demo man up for Ora Elektro, it's going to be pretty difficult. Eames has actually been pushed by Scatterfire alone and crated out. I can't believe they've turned this around.
I hope you caught that Thomas play, because that was the won the fight instantly. Thomas was hiding in the corner. He peeked the corner, hit Eames for 100, air shot him, but he did like the perfect. He's just managed to.
That's Chris as well.
I don't get how he's caught Chris there, but he did really good rocket management there. Like, that's the difference between like your top level roamer and your budget roamer. Instead of going for the second air shot onto Eames, he just focused his rockets onto the scout and then killed the scout instead. It was just beautiful rocket management, and he's managed to get another one onto Devo, and he's not died either. He's still not gonna die. He's just gonna equalize it. All right. Rons has made the right play. He realised he's realised that this round is already over now.
I mean, he's trying to delay Crodo off this, and they brought some players back at least. So, I mean, it's something.
That whole life that Thomas just had, that was just ridiculous. That's just that's like top level Roma that you can't really script. So that's just like
Slamnish. Leave the kill alone. He just wants to go back to spawn, and he can't even do that. Peppering somebody in the sky, thinking that kid's definitely less than 6 HP, and he was.
Well, they know they've got big fat Uber again. There's no defensive off classes. They had more than enough time to get a sentry up here, or a fat boy, or anything.
Yeah, well, they've got a sniper now. That's your last second defense. Like, whoopsie, we forgot to rock a defense. We need to just run anything. Get a sniper out, boys. They pop nice and early over on 4Toast, and he's still hovering about, seeing if he can get a fishy kill in the midst of all this Uber, and actually gets the body shot full charge onto the medic post Uber. So this could be an interesting sort of thing, but I think the medic might have done his job now if they do this quick enough over on 4Toast, and it's getting a bit sloppy. They can't really find the kills. Another bust kill onto Toras, and well, I mean, there
that
you
was
go.
a good hold. Yeehaw getting the delayed pick onto Domo, pretty good. Well, Yeehaw got the delayed pick onto Domo. That helped salvage it. They didn't really manage to clean up the soldiers quick enough, because the soldiers were isolating themselves. Chris was pushing the flank and he just didn't get picked up like quick enough, and he managed to get a kill in return for it.
Oh, again greedy, very greedy.
Thomas is in onto Trum. Thomas is in onto Trum again.
Oh, doesn't quite get the kill though. But the very greedy sort of overextending from 4Toast. I guess they wanted to just get that bit more spam. Pappy then tries to weasel away with 2 HP. His team tries to support him. It's Saviour Man syndrome, and just feeding in one player after the another, trying to save the previous fuck up from the before.
Nah, fair play for them trying to take that fight, but it's a bit. But I don't know. Sometimes it's fine to cut your losses and let Pappy die in those situations. I mean, even if Thomas does get onto the medic for free as well.
Eames really wants to push lower, and yeah, he's popped off now, but actually doesn't take the jump in. Knows that the sentry gun needs to be dealt with first, and they've got the left door on lockdown. Or I say that Slemnish gets out of there, and yeah, they've just managed to rotate everybody around. They've got a fat man. He's going to get on top of the point. If the more high ground I think this man gets, the harder it's going to make his life. Look at Chris just being pushed up into the sky. They tried to back out with the rest of the team, but they're all taking the shared spam. If Pappy's last rocket was just a bit lower there, I think they would have had a team wipe.
Fat Boy too strong on those last swords, but they lost too many players instantly. Like Ron's got bombed by 2 soldiers, died instantly when he created, and they managed to pick off Yeehaw in that fight as well, so there was no way they had enough damage to kill the Fat Boy. The Domo's getting forced really far forward on grass, but the flank from this is a really good flank play from Ora. Nevo's in behind, but he's not going to be able to get last now.
I can see what Domo was trying to do there. Pappy tries to make space for his team, and then they'll just pop the Uber onto him, save his life, and maybe keep going the push from there. But they drop Pappy, and now they have to deal with Neva, who got in behind.
Rings
he gets right behind him. He's on top of them. Oh, he gets the kill onto him. Slemnish will get the revenge kill, but the damage has been done. Domo is down. That's heal advantage, player advantage, and Uber advantage for Ora Elektro. They just need to get their numbers back up, and they can take this push however they please. They even lose some other players because they want to go desperate over on 4Toast, see if they can get some pick plays and some force plays. They force the Uber out now, but this could just be in a good old-fashioned regular Uber from Eames and company. They're on top of them. Nice damage. Oh, I say nice damage. Actually, is up going down to the scout, and are they beefing this? They've got a scout on point, however, but they've beefed it.
They didn't peek a single door to find out where any of the players were. They had.
Well, I guess they were forced. I think they were dealing with things, weren't they, on that lobby area?
No, they weren't dealing with anything. Right, so you had Chris and Rons rolling out. Chris managed to kill Chris killed Crater behind, so you've got a pick already to go through there. You know they've no defensive off classes. Slem's not gone sniper once. You don't have to worry about a potential sniper threat here. They can walk in the left side and just take the space. They can get information. They can let the soldiers catch up. Instead, they used into the door on the left. Didn't find anything with the Uber. Found Lucas hiding in a corner on the right. By the time they got over to him, the Uber had faded and Chum was the first person to die. On a full Uber Red, the medic dying first was just so sad. And now they're going for some really, really budget
it's because they're
misguided sack.
They're on budget time now, Josh. They've only got 2 minutes left, and with 2 rounds that need to just get a draw, they're going to start doing the plays of, I know it's bad,
it's over,
but we need to do something. A game that no player likes to play. You know it's the bad move, but you gotta do something.
I don't know. There's way too many last holds beefed from Ora this game. They actually had many chances to put like some good amount of rounds on the door, or on the board even. Like this could have easily been a 4-2, like even a 4-1, if they had just played it a bit better. The mid where they started adapting to, they adapted a bit quicker on the mids this time. Like the aggression wasn't working because they were just getting picked off like way too quick. There was one aggressive mid they should have won where they just.
Yeah, that one where Domo was 2 HP.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if we analyse the mids like if they do the double aggression and kill Domo on the mid, and they just back out with the med pick and just bait the aggression, that's fine. Like that's a perfectly valid mid strat. That's fine. The mid where they did kill Domo, but instead of backing out, they just stood there in the saw door, like the door into saw even, and just looked at them and just absorbed all the spam. You know, you're gonna lose when you try and leave with that because you can't leave. You know, the decision just needs to be quicker to leave on that. That was like mid 2 and 3. Like the last mids where they absorbed the aggression. Thomas gets a kill. No, but the last oh, he actually did. Amazing. But the mid where they absorbed the aggression, you know, they just kited the blue soldiers. They baited Pappy to bomb into Saw because they realised where he was bombing and got a free kill onto him. And then Thomas didn't have anything to support his bomb. You know, that's a really good mid. That was like exactly the kind of thing you need to be doing against a team like this, like seeing what they do and position your players accordingly. But the last holds weren't too bad compared to Sunshine. The last holds on Sunshine were just horrendous. This one was much better. Rons needs to chill out though. Overall, I know I'm shitting on Rons a lot.
It's because you're a soldier. I'll put the caveat right there. If you're a soldier, of course you're going to pick on the soldiers a bit more.
Yeah, true, but like it was costing him his team a lot. But again, I'm not going to actually put it all on Rons because I don't think his team, from what I can see from like how his combo are playing, have any idea what they're doing where they're trying to hit the W key to come out of last. No one's sort of following Rons into like the good positions, but they're also not using they're also not using like the right classes to push out. They could have just taken it slow and just beat off a sniper. You know, you get one pick, you walk into lobby, you take it slow. You get another, you like work the picks that you have. You get another pick, you take balcony, you take cheese. You know, you bully the team out with just spam and the sniper presence, and you can get a scout on point. Right. Instead of just runs bombing into cheese and dying to the flank or 4Toast straight away, while his team's just, I don't know, fucking twiddling the thumbs in the lobby and doing nothing.
All right. Speaking of bullies, Josh, there's a big bully in this, and he's across the pond, despite the ping difference. Look at when's the last time you saw 40 kills on a scout in an official match?
Don't know, man.
I feel like that's pretty sizable for a scout on Snake Water.
He's a step ahead of Neo. Let's be honest. Like, you compare Neo to Slimness, you've got a scout that's twice his level, easily, maybe 3 times his level. I'm not doing it to shit on Neo, but
it's just a talented boy.
It's just common sense. If you just literally look at Slimnish and his accolades and everything, you compare it to Neo. If anyone even thinks that Neo's actually got even close to Slim's level, you're delusional. So you got that guy, and you've already got a fucking big advantage.
Was it really the Slim show, or was 4Toast making those numbers just look a bit better, setting up the line really easily?
It's not just the Slim show. It's how Pappy and Toe like do their bombs together, which like allows Slimness to have that space. And then you've got Lucas, who like when his ping's not like messing him around and he can get involved in the game. Lucas has such a massive impact. He's a great demo to watch.
Yeah, both of the medics had the same deaths there in that match. Does that shock you at all? At any point, that shocks me a little bit.
I mean, their salvation play a lot of the time was to just go for Domo when they realized that the fight was lost. The only sort of salvation play they had was to try and get a kill on Domo, you know. But it didn't feel like when you look at Domo's deaths and you compare it to Chum's deaths when he died, that was round losing. When Domo died, you know, it wasn't
fine. They were at last.
It was a situation where if Domo died, it was fine if he died. If Chum died, it's game over. Rounds lost, next mid, move on, sort of thing. There's nothing more they can do with that.
Well, the final scoreline is 3-2, but it felt a lot bigger, at least in our eyes, in watching it. So this is our officially our second seed versus our first seed. Do you think that this is the team to rise up and challenge 4Toast when it comes to playoffs, or do you think you're going to back a different horse in this ETF2L season?
I mean, I still had high hopes for Nunya. I expected them to be doing a bit better. I was hoping Nunya would still be like making playoffs.
I mean, there's so much shenanigans with golden caps and stuff. I think if people get some solid wins out towards the end, it is possible, and not everybody's scheduled the games as well. That's why it's a bit pear-shaped.
I mean, if you're Vibrand's middle finger and you've got 3 golden cap wins, that's like detrimental to yourselves as well, because it's just points that you could have actually kept for yourself. Like those extra points will add up and make the difference when it comes to playoffs.
Yeah, I can see rounds being invoked. Let's just put it that way for that 4th place.
And I don't know. When it comes to Nunya, disappointed with how they've been playing so far. Definitely think they shouldn't have lost to half these teams, especially with this is like how sort of easy 4Toast made it look and the players that they've got. But again, lack of experience is going to be a big factor on them because first team together for the first season.
What about Garda Pandora?
Yeah, they're playoffs. Definitely playoffs. I think they're going to probably be... I would like to see them get second place. I think they've definitely got the skill to do it. Like if they realize the things that Ora are doing wrong and just keep capitalizing it like 4Toast did, they'll crush them very easily.
Let me give you one last question, Josh, and we'll finish things off here. Can you see 4Toast losing this season?
Who's their last games against? Oh well, the last game is Garda, so Viaduct, they're not going to lose that. Process. The only way they'll lose Process is if Garda does their homework. Like Garda needs to do their homework on Process and just I'll be honest, they just need to watch demos of teams that have beat them on Process and just try and replicate it, and just realize that they need to be actually using their brains as well, not be going 5 rounds down and then thinking, oh, now let's try something different, because by that time it's just pointless.
All right then, boys and girls, you've heard it from the man himself. That means we're going to be ending our show here. It was a match to be seen at least. Ora Elektro versus 4Toast. 4Toast will walk away with the full fat 6 ETF2L points, and they're going to be going into just one more match into their week 7. But it's going to be a little bit while ahead. There's plenty of games in the mismatch for that fight for playoff in the meantime in this golden season of season 39. And thank you for joining me, TurboTabs, Josh on the co-cast mic, Wiethoofd on that production. And yeah, use your brains. Don't miss out on any more of this Team Fortress TV action, of this ETF2L coverage. Josh, any shout outs before we end our little coverage?
Just Lego and Nerdray.
Magical. Wiethoofd, a big salute to you, sir. Thank you very much for pressing all the buttons in the background. And a big salute to you guys watching at home. You're the reason we do this, and to all the TFTV staff. Otherwise, we'll see you soon in the future. And yeah, bye-bye.